everyone. My name is Ravi. I'm the co-founder CEO of Zeeve. And first of all, I would like to welcome everyone to today's AMA. On today's AMA, we are going to dive into one of the most misunderstood narratives in Web3, that gaming adoption is a technology problem. But I believe that the real issue isn't scaling or throughput or even fees, but something deeper: trust or familiarity or user experience. And today we have a very exciting guest, Mark from ZKCandy. And ZKCandy is a ZK Rollup purpose-built for Web3 gaming. And on today's AMA, we'll unpack, what it really takes to power the next generation of on-chain games without players even realizing that they are on-chain. So first of all, I would like to welcome Mark. Mark, we would love to, know about yourself, about your journey in the Web3 so far, and your motivation to start ZKCandy.
Sure. Thanks, Dr. Ravi. So, hi everyone. I'm Mark. I lead business development for ZKCandy. So just a very quick background about myself. I started my career in traditional banking. So my background is more tailored to structured finance and risk management. And over time, I became more interested in infrastructure, how systems are designed, who controls them, or how incentives are aligned. How I started crypto is like my 8th year now. Blockchain felt like a space where we're not just improving like old system, but redesigning them from scratch. It's less predictable, but it's also more transparent, and I guess that's what really drew me in and kept me here. Thank you.
That's great, Mark. I think you probably have seen multiple cycles, DeFi summer, NFTs, and gamification, Gamify 1.0. So, any learning that you can share? What these cycles taught you, especially in terms of what not to do in gaming. So, any lesson or learning that you would like to share with us?
Not really. Just don't trade on leverage, I guess.
Absolutely. So, Mark, Web3 gaming has long been promised true ownership. Yet I think we have seen that adoption is still way behind. So from your perspective, what are some of the core reasons which is holding Web3 gaming back?
Honestly, I think it hasn't been technology. It's always has been like the user experience and expectations out of Web3 gaming. So for years, Web3 gaming is very much focused on financial mechanics. Like if you don't get rich overnight, the game will go bust very fast. Always has been like tokens, NFTs, yields, and not enough on gameplay quality, right? So gamers don't lock in to manage wallets; they lock in to have fun. If the experience feels complicated or transactional, they will definitely leave. So adoption lack not because ownership is a bad idea, but because the user experience wasn't smooth enough.
No, absolutely. I think, as you rightly said, the real challenge wasn't the technology, but having a solid user experience. And this is something that we see. I'm sure a lot of folks who have joined the AMA today must have played games, both Web 2 and Web 3. And I think the difference has been clear. So once we bring that kind of experience to Web 3, I think it will become no-brainer, because the core value advantage of using blockchain is very clear, but it should not be at the cost of user experience, right? So, can you provide some more details as to what Web3 games require, more on the user experience and other asks that the users have to have a massive adoption?
Yeah, sorry, can you repeat that again?
So I'm saying that, there are a lot of recognizable brands or familiar game mechanics.
Right.
So what do we require to, let's say, onboard next 100 million users?
I almost felt like IP, intellectual property for gaming, is very important, especially for mainstream gamers. So most players, they don't care whether something is built on ZK or optimistic rollup. They care about a few things, right? Like, is it fun? Do I recognize the brand? Does it feel safe? So a very familiar and big IP does reduces friction. It gives emotional context. Blockchain should enhance ownership and progression, but it shouldn't be the headline, right? In gaming, especially. So trust usually comes from brand and experience first, and not from technical architecture.
Absolutely. I can't agree more. So definitely trust and familiarity, and I believe in the trust. I think we all are emotionally connected with brands, and we know that the kind of games a certain brand is going to launch will be very exciting to even test out with, and that's how the journey starts. So apart from this, you know, I know that ZK Candy's mission is to make the blockchain completely invisible to players, right? And that is, I think, the ideal implementation of blockchain, where the users don't even know that they are on chain, or
Yeah.
they use the value or the benefits of blockchain. So, what does it look like in practice for someone playing their first ZK Candy game?
I almost felt like a player shouldn't need to think about wallet, gas fee, or even bridging from chain A to chain B, so on and so forth. To be particular in practice, it should look like a very seamless onboarding experience. Transaction happening in the background without the gamers knowing it, or maybe even account extraction handling the wallet, right? And assets should just appear in your inventory. Um, that being said, like, if someone plays their first ZKCandy game, ideally they don't even need to realize that they are interacting with the blockchain, right? So what they really see is just a smooth gaming experience. That's what I really feel about it.
That's something pretty awesome. I'm sure users here who are listening to the CMA must be very excited about this. The way you have approached Web3 gaming, and your mission is to provide the Web2 kind of experience, yet at the same time bring a lot of trust and familiarity to the Web3 games. So, one other piece that, the Candy Passport and interoperability. So, Candy Passport today enables a single identity across games, assets, and achievements. And this is, I think, has been a problem in Web2 also, where it was solved using some of the common identities. So, how important is cross-game interoperability in building long-term player engagement?
It is very important for long-term engagement. That's for sure, right? Because in traditional gaming, your achievements, they are locked into a single title. In Web3, we need to be innovative. So with what we have here with Candy Passport, players are able to your identity and progress, right? They can extend across multiple game titles. So this creates continuity, right? People are there to farm and keep playing the games. So when your assets, achievements, and reputation move with you, it will increase emotional attachment and obviously the player's retention over the long term horizon. So it kind of turns isolated games into an ecosystem.
Got it. No, I think this is very interesting point, because I thought it is identity like a access to the platform. But what you mentioned is that it's not just about the identity, but it includes the reputation, the achievements, and the assets. Everything becomes portable, and that creates a lot of credibility. Especially, we know gamers invest thousands of hours building identity in one platform. So that is pretty exciting. So, Mark, running a high performance gaming L2 isn't trivial. So what kind of challenges did you face while creating the network, and you have massive plans to scale the network in 2026? So a bit about how you have tackled this, and then of course how we at Zeeve
Right.
are very excited to partner with you. So our role being an infrastructure partner.
So honestly, we are good at building games, but not so much on the infra. So to say, like running a gaming layer 2 means you simply can't tolerate instability, right? Because you're running a chain. So some of the biggest challenges here are RPC reliability under very heavy load, indexing the performance, geographic latency, as well as a very consistent uptime. You can't have downtime when you're running a layer 2. Gaming traffic is very different from DeFi. It's super demanding, as per se. It's real time. If something lags during your gameplay, users will feel it immediately. It's very, very different from decentralized finance or even RWA or whatever you call it. So developers, they also need predictability. If the infra is inconsistent, they spend more time debugging it rather than building games. So this, I guess, this is where Zeeve comes in. You guys run a RAS, a Rollup as a service, focusing on building the infra so we can be more focused on building games, because building games is what we are good at. Yeah, so like instead of splitting the tension between infra as well as products, we partner with you guys to ensure the network runs smoothly. So yeah.
Oh, great, Mark. I think you have mentioned a very strong point. Like in DeFi, of course, there also the transaction throughput and scalability becomes super important, but at least we have atomic transactions. If something fails, then it can be reverted back. But in the case of gaming, we don't have that luxury. It has to be continuous. The user experience cannot be hampered by breaks, whether, transactions are failing or RPC is not accessible. And I believe that, gaming will onboard more users than DeFi. I see the massive area which currently has not happened, but I believe that gaming can bring in massive mass adoption in the Web3 space.
Yeah, let's hope so. Gaming is a bit slow now, but I strongly believe gaming is one of the very good angle to bring on a massive user base to our ecosystem.
Absolutely. So let's talk a bit about Candy, the platform, especially the Candy token model. So today the Candy token enables staking, governance, and node operation. So from a community standpoint, how does this model empower the community beyond just the gameplay?
Yeah, we don't really see Candy token as just a reward token. Through staking, governance, and even node operations, right, it gives the community participation in the network itself. So to say, like, users, they can stake, they can participate in governance, they can even support node operations as well. So they are not only just consuming games or playing games, but with Candy tokens, they are also contributing to the infra layer. So this kind of shift the relationship from player to stakeholder as well.
Right. No, absolutely. I think earlier we have seen the early gaming projects, the tokens were typically inflationary reward systems, right? But now I think the token economics that you have designed is something highly futuristic and something which is required, because the whole idea of decentralized network is that how each and every stakeholder can contribute to the network and generate value and then get value out of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think we are coming almost at the end of the AMA. So just to, what are ZKCandy's plans for 2026? What we are going to see as the next phase of growth, and what community can expect from ZK?
The next phase is very much focused on ecosystem growth. That means like expanding quality games partnership, strengthening the infra stability, improving like onboarding experience for gamers in particular. They don't really want to use MetaMask wallet, and Phantom wallet, so on and so forth. And we want to focus on building Candy Passport as well. We want a very sustainable growth, that's for sure. More developers building on us, more players staying. and a stronger infra behind everything. I mean, in a nutshell, the goal is very simple: making blockchain gaming feel normal.
Got it. Got it. No, I think that's super, super exciting for the community. So as we wrap up today's discussion, one thing is clear that Web3 gaming was never limited by technology. The infrastructure has evolved. ZK Rollups are there, which are highly scalable. The cost of ZK Rollups or ZK proving has gone down. Performance is getting better. So the real unlock lies in trust, familiarity, and seamless experience, as not mentioned. So if players don't feel like they're using blockchain, they are doing something on chain, then I think it solves the purpose. And especially, I was very intrigued by the whole interoperability piece. Having a Candy passport, making assets and reputation, portable across games. This is something very exciting. So I think ZKCandy is taking a very bold step in that direction by combining performance, invisible infrastructure, superior user experience, and community-driven participation through their excellent token economics. So to everyone listening, I think the next wave of adoption won't be coming from DeFi. DeFi is definitely growing. It will, but it will come from building solid experiences. And I think there's a lot to learn from what Mark mentioned, how ZKCandy is approaching the whole user experience piece in the Web3. So thanks a ton, Mark, for your insights. I think we learned a lot, and we are very, very excited about the ZKCandy project. And thanks to everyone, to the community for joining us today. With that, keep building, keep smiling.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. You guys have a great day.